good to see some of the names, faces after a bit long time. So I hope all of you would be doing well, keeping safe, right? So can I have the update about your ACCA status, like which papers you guys are studying, etc., etc., which papers are done? So Azan, Niaish, Amar, Anas, Mushtaq. That's good. Congratulations, Amar. Oh, Azan, nice. Good to. Oh, one skill is remaining. So which skill remaining and when you are planning to attempt that skill paper for December session? Inshallah. So yeah, sounds good, Mushtaq. So Mushtaq and Anas. So one request I like to make to everyone. Please try to share your messages with everyone so that everyone is aware who is saying what is saying, and if I am responding, then on what lines I'm responding. So Anas and Mushtaq, two papers are like fine. So just to give everyone the idea. Oh, best wishes, Nyash. Best wishes for your SBR result. And Mushtaq and Anas, you both of you guys are going for two papers. One is ATX and one is another paper. So, like ATX, I hope you recall your TX times. Do you believe that TX, from a syllabus perspective, it's a lengthy subject? Do you believe that? Unless, yeah, that's what I agree. Like it's lengthy, but it's not complicated, and that's my opinion. You guys can disagree. Uh, and not technical. It's a yeah, pretty much straightforward. ATX is bit more lengthier than TX. Okay, so from the study perspective, from a practice perspective, it would take more time for your study and for practice. So those who are going for two papers, I'm not discouraging, but I'm giving you a heads up that you guys need to plan accordingly so that you won't be making any kind of confusion towards the exam booking type of stuff. You remain comfortable, confident that you have to go for two exams, plan it accordingly. So that's the important message which I want to convey. Plan it accordingly. Okay. Um, some of the names are familiar to me, but still, just asking for my own curiosity has nothing to do with the ATX. Uh, when do you guys passed out with your TX exam? As on June 21. Okay. Okay. Start a year ago, let's say 9 months ago. So my question is, when you attempted TX exam, so the oldest one I can see is Azan. Azan, congratulations, you win this contest. You are the like June 21, and the youngest one looks to me is Anas, who is like last attempt. So again, like I said, it is not something which is going to impact ATX. It's just for my own knowledge. Just to give you a reference, like my own observation, again, you guys can disagree. In my own opinion, tax is something which once we study on the very, like once we study and once we appear for exam, on the very next day, we forgot 50% of the syllabus. Like what we studied, 50% is gone away, even once we are done with the exam. And once we are done with positive result, then rest of the 50% is gone. One of the, I would say, bad luck for taxation subject is, unlike FR and let's say PM, FM, audit, this is something which never came into the daily routine discussions. Like FR, I can tell, like it is something which remains in discussion with colleagues, with peers, with our juniors, with our seniors. Maybe same thing goes for audit, same thing goes for FM, PM, but luckily, unluckily, and I believe it's more of unluckily, taxation is something which never came into discussion as such with either juniors, seniors, with your peers once you are done with the exam. So normally when students appearing for ATX, normally TX things are completely wiped off normally. So I'm excluding, I can say uh, there are 5 at the moment in class, and out of 5 I can say 3 excluded, 2 left. So 2 left are ones who are more than 1 year old for the TX. Is like, I can for sure say you guys won't remember anything relating to tax. So just to give you a reference, the taxation ATX lectures are structured mainly keeping your type of students in mind. So they are not structured keeping in the rest of 60% of the class population in mind. Like they are not structured keeping, let's say, or Anas or Niaish in mind. Uh, so they are more towards keeping Azan and Amar in mind. Exactly. Because they are also aware that taxation is something which, if anything, beyond sight, beyond mind. So taxation is normally a dedicated interview if that has to be scheduled. So it cannot be coupled up with any other topic. But accounting, let's say, is anything, mathematics, let's say, is anything which can be questioned with any particular subject. So, like one more second only. Let me turn the writing mode on of my laptop because I like to share few things with you. Mm, I hope you guys can see my screen, right? Perfect. So this is ATX for December 2025 session. I like to start my discussion of ATX with one fundamental or one very basic concept of taxation, which is like taxes. Taxes can be categorized, can be divided into 2 categories. One is direct taxes and another one is indirect taxes. What is indirect tax? So indirect tax is anything which is levied upon consumption of goods or services. Direct taxes are the one which are with linked with income of the person. The higher the income, the higher direct taxes would be. The lower the income, the lower direct taxes would be. Indirect tax is something which is levied upon the consumption of goods or services. So it is something which has nothing to do with your consumption. Indirect taxes are something which has nothing to do with your income. Rather, it is more linked with your consumption of goods or services. The more you consume the goods services, the more indirect tax you have to pay. Okay. Let's more talk about direct tax. Direct tax can be further subcategorized into two categories. One is called capital direct tax. Second one is called revenue direct tax. Anyone recall what is capital direct tax? What is revenue direct tax? Mushtaq, well noted. Anyone further? So I have feedback from Anas and Mushtaq. No one? Okay. So capital direct taxes is anything which is linked with your capital income. So anything which is linked with your capital income. Okay. Which is linked with your capital income. So capital income is like your one-off income, any income which you realize from disposal of asset, that type of stuff. Uh, Revenue incomes are the ones which is your regular part of income, right? So revenue income is basically your income, which is your day-to-day type of income. So that is, to be precise, your revenue income. Revenue direct tax means any direct tax which is levied upon your day-to-day income, and capital direct tax means any tax which is levied upon your uh, one-off nature of incomes, right? Now, examples of capital direct tax. So examples of capital direct taxes are one, capital gains tax. Second one, inheritance tax. Revenue direct tax examples include, there is now one more addition in this. One is called stamp duty. And this is something which is entirely new. New means it is something which you haven't studied in your TX exam. Revenue direct taxes. Examples include, first of all, income tax, which includes your trading income, your property income, your employment income, each and every such type of income. Then second one is corporation tax. I hope you guys recall or you guys understand the difference between income tax and corporation tax. So corporation tax is something which has to be paid by the company, right? Income tax is something which has to be paid by the individual persons. Okay. Indirect tax. Indirect tax. Indirect tax examples include value added tax, right? Like, there is no very much new conceptual text we are going to talk about. So the majority of the things are similar as what we have already studied in TX. Having said that, in every topic, there are some more granularities, there are some more in-depthness, but I like to highlight couple of things. One, in every tax, be it capital gains, inheritance, income tax, corporation tax, VAT, whatever it is, there is one addition in every area, which is called overseas aspects. Overseas aspects means if a person, like let's suppose Qunber Raza, he has some income from the UK. Am I supposed to pay tax on it? Yes, no. If I make any kind of disposal in the UK, am I supposed to pay tax on it? Or yes, no. So these type of discussions, for example, if I make any PET, like I make any transfer from inheritance tax perspective, am I supposed to pay inheritance tax on that or not? So all these things, all these discussions, conversations are basically linked with the concept of overseas aspects. In TX, overseas was very tiny toony to the extent of VAT. One. Second, it has a tiny toony concept component of in income tax, where we learned about the concept of residency, right? But here there is a lot more. This heading, overseas aspects, is embedded, integrated in each and every topic. Okay, each and every topic of ATX. Okay. And like I said, in some of the topics, there is some more in-depthness in the syllabus. So, and I can tell you this area, overseas aspects, this is my favorite area in ATX, and this is the examiner's favorite area as well. So while studying this particular thing, give it a proper respect that it's very important from the examination perspective. Okay. Second discussion is about paper format. Second discussion is about paper format. ATX paper is categorized, divided into two, I would use the word sections. One is section A and another one is section B. total marks. In section A, there will be one question. In section B, there will be two questions. So one, two questions, 25 marks each. Okay. But there is more interesting segregation or bifurcation in this. And the interesting segregation bifurcation is, of this total, there are some technical marks and there are some professional skills related marks. The technical marks in section A is like 40, 10 professional skills, 20, 5 professional skills, 20, 5 professional skills. You know, what does it implies? It implies that the total paper is no doubt of 100 marks, but technical is only 80 and professional skills is 20. Now, what is, by the way, one few interesting things to note. In this 80, 5 marks of ethics is already included. 5 marks of ethics is also included. Now, what is ethics? So, basics, we are aware, like basics we are aware. Ethics in ATX is not new anything. Ethics in ATX is similar as what we have studied in, let's say, in F1, in audit and assurance type of paper, right? Where basically the idea is uh, 5 ethical principles: integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, professional competence, and due care and professional behavior. The threats remain same, so no change in threats. So threats remain same as in self-interest threat, self-review threat, intermediation threat, familiarity threat, advocacy threat. Uh, I'm not sure whether I missed anything or not. So ethical principle remains same. So what change over here? So the change over here is mainly your capacity to think would change, because previously you always need to think from the perspective of auditor. Now you need to think from the perspective of tax advisor. Now you need to think from the perspective of tax consultant. So nothing else changed. What changed over here is only your capacity to think would be changed. Okay. So it means within the technical, only the text related marks would be 75. I hope I'm clear in. Your text related marks would be 75. Professional skills marks are 20. Professional skills marks are 20. Keep one thing, remember, previously, and when I'm using the word previously, I'm basically referring to more than 2 years back approximately. This used to be this used to be somewhat this used to be somewhat uh, 4 marks. Now it is 20 marks. So what is changed over here? What is causing it to be of this much marks? So that's the thing. Now a very high level discussion on professional skills. On professional skills front, uh, So basically this one 20 marks. This one 20 marks is to demonstrate certain skills in exam. What are those skills which we are supposed to demonstrate in the exam? One is called as communication. One is called as analysis and evaluation. One is called as one is called as skepticism, and one is called as commercial acumen. Um, let's have discussion one by one around what represents what. Make it in this way. In your opinion, what is so, let me comment about communication. I'll take your feedback on rest of the items. What is analysis and what is communication? So communication is basically uh, how you are presenting your answer. Is your answer presented in a good, presentable way of presenting the answer? So that is basically one piece. Um, Analysis and evaluation. What do you understand from the word analysis and evaluation? What do you understand from the word analysis and evaluation? Anyone? Breaking up information and providing feedback, analysis the requirement and case and evaluate your answer accordingly. Yes, so to much extent, all these feedbacks are like perfect, but still, like if you ask me what is analysis and evaluation, so analysis and evaluation is basically, um, for example, if you have two options relating to anything, choosing any one particular option along with the reason, along with the rationale, that's basically part of the analysis and evaluation. Skepticism. Skepticism, from our basic audit understanding, we are aware that skepticism means keeping a questioning mind, right? Now, how the questioning mind applies over here. So very interestingly, I can give you some couple of examples. Like let's say one real scenario. At times, what happens is a person came to me, let's suppose, to take a tax advice. Okay. That guy is like, I have a friend who has, some knowledge of UK tax. I'm very cautiously using the word some knowledge of UK tax. He said that in my opinion, and very clearly, he said, in my opinion, uh, there is no tax on ABC thing, or there is no tax on XYZ thing. So skepticism means, like, you cannot say directly no in a bad manner, if I can use this word, but accordingly, you need to analyze, like, whether the person, he can be right, he can be wrong. So you need to analyze the information in a way whether the person who is giving his beliefs to you, is his beliefs are fine, like if there's any issue, that type of a thing. So that is basically part of the analysis and evaluation. Okay. um Commercial acumen, what is commercial acumen? Your opinion first. What is commercial acumen? Anyone? Okay, I hear you, Amar. Azan, sorry, the first instance. Anas, I like it. Boy. So commercial acumen means, while giving a tax advice, do not think only about the tax stuff. Like, there are other factors as well which you should have to consider while giving the tax advice. So that's basically called as your commercial acumen. So for example, let's suppose there is a person who wants some tax advice. Um, One thing, it is quite possible that it would be good for his uh, perfect for his tax related advice, but not necessarily good or perfect from uh, make it in this way, would not be suitable or perfect for uh, commercial point of view. So commercial acumen means, while giving a tax advice, you need to consider all of the 360-degree view uh, of the transaction, of the implication. And then you should decide what's best interest of the person, of whoever is taking the tax advice from us. Okay. So commercial acumen, importantly, it is basically that while giving a advice to the customers, do not take a only taxation view, do consider other factors as well. Okay. Um, interestingly, interestingly, uh, by the way, guys, I just shared a very brief or high level illustrations with you at the moment. Uh, we will cover, and obviously we have to cover it in very detail. So that's basically just a high level stuff to give you an idea how these type of things work. Okay. One maybe last thing relating to this conversation. Uh, section A, all 4 skills will be examined. Whereas in section B, any 2 skills will be examined in not examined in section B. So it means communication will not be examined in section B. So in section B, we have analysis and evaluation, we have skepticism, we have commercial acumen, but we do not have the communication. So needless to say, in section B, obviously there will be, in section B, obviously there will be some, I would say there would be some, any one skill will be examined twice in section B. Right? I hope I'm clear in this. So Amar, commercial acumen means having a 360 degree view of the business. Like, you are tax consultant, I agree, but while giving an advice to the customers, do not think or focus only on the taxation stuff. Do have a think, do consider other factors as well. So that is basically the commercial acumen. Uh, I hope that's clear. Now I'm getting towards the most important discussion for today. And the most important discussion for today is basically our uh, how our session will be structured. So that's probably the most important conversation. Um, this is the planner which I request everyone to be followed. First of all, why am I requesting to follow this one planner type of stuff is basically um, why I'm requesting to follow this planner, because on every week we are planning. In fact, my plan is to conduct your weekly live query session plus exam kit. Okay. That particular class, your weekly live query session, will be recorded. And recordings will also be shared with you guys. Okay. Mustaq, I'll keep that online, please. Like at the moment, if you ask me, I do not have any as such intention to keep it uh, now. Probably second important discussion. Why I want this class to be sorry, why I am requesting you guys to follow this one planner. That is the second important question. The reason being I am requesting you guys to follow this planner is because let's suppose today we are doing query session of, let's say, week 1, which is capital gains tax. So if you are not done with your weekly planner, then probably not, in fact probably even for sure, that particular class would no more be effective for you, because if someone is asking, raising queries from this topic, and you are not done with that, so that class would not be as such fruitful for you. So I hope you understand the importance to cover your classes on a weekly basis. Right? So if you guys follow this planner, we will be able to complete our class by, we will be able to complete our session, or you guys will be able, let me rephrase it, you guys will be able to complete your syllabus by this particular date. And I can tell you, if you guys complete your syllabus by this particular date, that is quite reasonable time to complete the ATX syllabus. Amar, no. So, oh, that's good one. Nice pick, Amar. So it's not like that's only one class which I am planning. After this 8th November, it's not like I don't know you guys, you don't know me. No, we will stay in touch. Still, I'll conduct your uh, practice session on weekly basis. By the way, for these classes, the time I can tell you is would be 6:30 p.m. Pakistan time. So, and obviously, needless to say, I'll sorry, one thing which I was about to, and I can tell you like why I keep this at least one class for this particular purpose, because I personally feel like in recorded versions, we normally lack the coordination or communication with the students. So from that perspective, I feel it important to keep at least one class uh, so that I would be aware like where you guys stand, where you guys do not stand. So yeah, that's the reason. I guess I'm done with my discussion. By the way, one important thing which I missed. Um, Unlike TX, there is one, I would say, negative point, if I'm not using this word wrong, with the ATX. And the negative point with the ATX is in the exam kit, you like exam kit, there is no single question which consists of only one topic. So generally, what's the behavior or what's the tendency of ATX is in most of the situations, in one question, so many topics are examined together. So that's why I do not advise you guys to attempt the exam kit at your own initially, huh? Rather, I keep advise you guys like we should do it towards, let's say, end. And by the way, the if you follow this particular planner properly, then you will be able to complete your syllabus. Just imagine by you will be able to complete your syllabus by uh, 1st November. And if you manage to complete your syllabus by 1st November, then needless to say, that's a reasonable, very good reasonable time for the complete exam kit to be done. So that's why please do follow your planner. I'm not very much sure which guy follows what type of routine currently. So you guys know your routine the best. So please uh, behave like mature persons, I would say, and do it, schedule your things in a way that uh, good question, Yash. So I prefer, by the way, from your question, one thing just popped into my mind. From your question, one thing popped into my mind. One further thing, guys. If not already said, then again I'm repeating. You guys are advised to start exam kit from this date. Please do not start exam kit before this date. Okay? Please do not start exam kit before this date. You can attempt your exam kit after this date, but do not attempt your exam kit alone before this date. Right? Um, in the meanwhile, if someone still believes that how would we practice more? So the answer to that thing would be if you are like, for example, I'm done with capital gains, I need more practice. Couple of sources. First, you can raise your hand in front of me. Sir, I need more practice. I feel less confident about this topic. So one, I can do that. I can share some more practice questions with you. I have a lot of questions. I have a huge question bank, but I need the counter person to be asking for that. Like, I need to see the hunger in you guys for the questions to be done rather than it would be coming from my side. That's the first thing. Second, second, so if still someone wants like, sir, I need some further questions to practice, then what I can suggest is you can pick up your study text. Either it can be Kaplan or it can be Kaplan or Study Hub, and you can practice more questions from there rather than attempting the rather than uh, attempting the exam kit in the initial phases. I hope we are clear on this, right? Um,
Sir, can I ask a question on why?
Sure, 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 sure.
Sir, my question is that in study text we have a area like capital gain tax. In
Mhm.
that area we have questions relevant to the capital gain tax that would be related to the exam.
So, if I'm not understanding your question wrongly, maybe you are trying to ask like, is it exam type style questions or not? I hope I'm
Yes, sir.
understanding it correctly.
Yes, sir.
So
Exam is that
probably, my friend, the answer is no. Like they are not very much exam type, but in exam, the questions are not entirely different. Uh, Concept is same. The what is changed importantly is the way question is being asked is way changed, right? So, and obviously change can only be managed by the person who is conceptually clear on the exam. So if you are, and how can we be conceptually clear? We can be conceptually clear with the help of, more and more practice. So they are very good for the sake of practice, but I don't think that to be much more relevant from the uh, examination perspective. Like, we do follow the concept of exam kit. So is it something which is exam kit material? The answer is no. Um, by the way, one thing which I missed to discuss with you throughout these lectures, and I hope you guys can sense this, but I'm just explicitly covering, these lectures do not cover two areas. One, text planning, and second one is ethics related discussion. So the reason being I'm saying like you would be clear or you would be aware now is because this is something which, if you notice, I have kept to discuss in week in our live session rather than keeping it for the uh Amar, yes, so mocks are on the cards. Like we will conduct mocks as well relating to ATX, so that's not a worry thing. Sorry, Anas, maybe I missed your message. Uh, I'm planning to complete the classes as soon as possible and start. I have already completed 80%, and they are recorded videos of your solving questions. I'm taking SBI physical classes, that's why. So, on this, so the Anas, your point, your message triggers me a very good point to cover. Thanks for raising this, my friend. So, guys, to everyone, if you are done with, let's say, this one topic of first week target, then it's not like you should be stopped. You should continue and start next topic. You should continue and start next topic. Okay. You should continue and start with the next topic. So it's simply like in the next week, in the next session, you have some more things to ask to clarify. That's the only thing which I want to add. But please do keep a good track of your weekly targets. Do not let these targets to be spilled over, because if any one target will be spilled over, it will have a domino effect on your other areas as well. So please do give it a proper plan out. Okay. Azan, the answer is yes. So throughout the session, all classes are mainly recorded, like it's a pre-recorded session. Just I'm keeping one weekly live class to remain in touch with you guys so that I can track your progress relating to the syllabus. You're most welcome, Azan. Any further thing? If not, then I like to say thanks for the today, considering it's the first, like, orientation class type of stuff. So generally not supportive of going to a long journey for the first class. Uh, yeah, Anas, so to answer your point, all of the PDFs are already available at your portal. You can check at your portal. If not, drop me a note in the group. I'll request the admin to check it. But having said that, needless to say, I'll share a drive link with you guys. From the drive link, you guys can access the annotated, unannotated, both type of notes, annotated, unannotated, both type of notes. So, and not only limited to annotated and unannotated, these PDFs which I'm using at the moment, that will also be uploaded in your drive. So that's not a worry thing. Like, that's, as always, PDFs, like, I have a fundamental belief that all these PDFs, whatever we are discussing during the class, that's basically being a student, your fundamental right. So that will all be shared. So nothing to worry around. So I'm not sure whether your group has been created or not. If it has been created, I'll share the link of the drive with you guys. So Anas, I hope your this point is also answered, right? Yeah, so again, I'm just waiting for your questions to be done. Otherwise, I'm also looking forward to close the session for today. So if no more feedback, let's meet up next Saturday at 6:30 p.m. With at least bare minimum this topic to be covered. And if done, we can continue with the next topic. Okay. I'll look for the WhatsApp group. If created, I'll share the link with you guys of the, by the way, recording link will take a day or two to be shared, but the PDF link will be shared. Once, so that is already there. I have started uploading the couple of things. I'm just looking forward for the group to be created. I'm not sure. So if anyone can confirm me about the group, that would be great. Oh, thanks. Anas, kindly tag me in the group. I'll look into it because since yesterday I didn't get chance to look for the WhatsApp in detail, but I'll look at night or tomorrow and I'll update the link. Okay, perfect. So thanks everyone. See you guys inshallah next Saturday at 6:30. Take care.